Hello Taurus, and welcome to your January 2019 Lenormand reading. I'm Jade with yesYesYes, and thank you for visiting my channel. We are going to do a spread with the Lenormand cards. There's 36 cards, and this is, the Lenormand deck was created by Mademoiselle Lenormand in Paris, and I believe it was the 19th century. And so basically it reminds me of the old gypsy way of reading, where the cards are really specific. They kind of tell you things as they are. It's really cut and dry. It reads like a sentence, and it doesn't have to have this a lot of deep meaning to it like the tarot does. So that's why I like it. It's really nice. I have some really amazingly accurate readings, and I give really accurate readings with this deck. So if you're interested, this is going to be a general. But if you're interested in working with me, all that information is in the box below. We're going to do the spread that's most famous, the Grand Tableau. And again, it's going to be very general. This spread can be very in-depth, and I'm just going to do a very general for you. So what is coming up for Taurus for 2019 in January? And I have pre-shuffled. Okay, so we'll find out where this all begins. That one. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to lay this out, and let's see if I can get it all on the camera. So we begin with the child, the whip, the letter, the stork, the sun, the bouquet, the mice, and the snake. Okay, next line, the clouds, the ring, the clover, the rider, the scythe, the fish, the garden or the park, and the key. We have the birds. In this deck, it's the owls. This is the Gilded Reverie, Lenormand. This is the fox, the paths or the crossroads, the lily, coffin, the tree, the lady card, and the man card. Okay. Next line is the heart, the anchor, the ship, the mountain, the tower, the dog, the book, and the home, the house. Okay. Sorry, I lost it there. And then we have the stars, the cross, the moon, and the bear. Okay, so these four are going to give us a summation. This is going to be our general spread. I'm going to read each line accordingly. Let me tell you that these are our significator cards. So for feminine energy and masculine energy. And the way that it reads is this line is the present, this is all the past, and everything in front is the future. So we've got the woman and the man way over here. So basically this spread is going to be telling us how everything has unraveled up until this point. And then for the female energy, we have a masculine energy coming straight in, or we can look at the couple as it is, and we'll just look at, you know, what is surrounding the couple card. I'll also look at other significator cards in here, but these are the major ones, okay? And give me one more second. I'm going to check to see if any of the cards are in their houses, because that will give another flavor to this. So I have to count. Just give me a second. Okay, so all the cards are not, none of the cards are in the house, in their houses, so we don't have an underlying, but I will tell you that we have so much in the past here, so much of the story and being revealed that that's going to be enough for us underlying anyway. So let's get started. Here we start with the child. So this is youthful energy, or it's a new something, okay? So there's something new or youthful that came in, and the whip is a repetition card. It's also like a self-sabotaging or self-inflicted pain. So there's some kind of new pain that you were going through in the past that was related to a a written word. So either it was there was some pain that maybe you were writing about, that you were journaling about, and that you were talking with others about through the written word. So maybe you are a writer, or perhaps you were just sending emails or sending texts, talking back and forth with your friends. It could be that simple. And you were talking about a new beginning, and you wanted something new that was energized and successful. Okay, so there was a little bit of pain in the past, and you were writing about it to someone that you wanted to have a successful new beginning where there was blessings coming in, but that you had some anxiety. And right now there's a little bit of that left, but the snake card is actually the next level of anxiety, which would be more of deceitful action that's from the outside coming within. So what this means is that you've kind of created this situation for yourself where you had some anxiety, and right now we have a little bit of deceit. You know how your worst fears can come true. So I think that you were feeling a fear about a relationship or about something new starting, and you kind of created the fear. So right now you're in that fearful place, okay? Now we'll see what this has to do with, and I'm thinking because we have the significator cards together, it might be about a relationship, but let's find out. So the next line, we have the clouds. There's some confusion about a connection, about a contract. That's what the ring is. It doesn't have to be a marriage necessarily. It can be a business contract. It could be a lease on an apartment. It could be, your contract at work. So there's some confusion. In the past, there was some confusion about a contract, but it worked out, it seems. There was the confusion kind of let up with the clover. It's a luck card. So that confusion let up, and it came in quickly to change this confusion, so that more money was brought in. And this is more money that you earn in a public arena. So in front of friends, maybe you are a person who you are a public figure, even like if you're, or you can even be a lawyer where you're standing in front of the public, or you're doing like social media in front of public. So something about you're earning money in front of the public, and that is really what you should be doing, where you are blessed. You're on the right path there, okay? So while there was confusion, and this obviously has to do with work and earning money, there was confusion about some kind of contract, something in your past. Right now it's turned out to be just fine, and now you're doing, and you are exactly where you need to be for earning money, okay? Now I will give it a change, actually, take it away from work, because the fish can also be prosperity or abundance. So if this was a confusing contract that was signed for something other than work, so if it was confusion on your home front, but everything kind of changed quickly, you're in an abundant place now where everybody is recognizing that you're in the right place, and you got the key to that property. So that all worked out, okay? Hope that makes sense. Let's go to this next line. We have the birds. In this deck, it's the owls. And birds could be chatter, gossip, but also just two people talking. Now, here's really where I look at the entrepreneurial card, but it's also the fox can be cunning, and he can make things happen where no one else would be able to. So there's been talk about this kind of energy, okay? This kind of energy of perhaps you're taking it on where someone is talking about you being a little too cunning, or you've been talking about needing to take on the energy of being foxy or cunning because you need to make a choice about it, okay? And what I will actually say is that this is it's not the most positive of energies, but it's not going to take you down. You just need to make a choice of who you want to be. If you want to be someone who gossips, if you want to be someone who could be a little deceiving, or who could just kind of be sly and working for themselves, you'll have to make, you've made that choice, okay? Sorry, we're talking about the past here. And that choice was made that brought you to some type of legacy or some type of sensual connection that had to end, okay? So and then the tree is coming up, but we have the people on this line. So I'm going to talk about this in terms of a relationship, okay? So in the past, you've had to make a choice between being gossiping or being sly and on your own. So, you know, talking with people or talking with other people, or being kind of on your own. And then once you made that choice, there was something that ended, okay? And that something could have been like a sensual connection. It could have been, you know, a period of time that had gone on, like a long-term complacency, a stagnation, something that's, you know, antiquated, that's, you know, gone on for it's over and over, and that period has ended, okay? So there's some new life being bred into this, and this could be a relationship between you two. The tree has to do with family, it has to do with legacy, it also has to do with health, and like emotional health and spiritual health. So there's some new life that's being breathed into your spiritual and emotional health here. And I think it has to do with the fact that you two are here together, okay? Now when you have the two significator cards together, that means that we're looking at it as a couple. So more than likely, this reading is for a couple who have come through some process together. And I'm thinking that more than likely, it's really, I'm talking to the female energy of the couple, because we have a little bit of future here. Otherwise, if I'm talking to the masculine, this is all past, and you know, there's just, I'm not here really being helpful, but that's just how the cards laid out. So we've had a choice in the past that has changed the stagnant relationship, and now we're moving forward in something that can be much more beneficial for this couple, okay? Now, these two cards together can also mean a misdiagnosis, so, or some type of health issue coming to an end, because the coffin isn't ending, and the tree does have to do with health. So also know that something that may not have been healthy for you is now coming to an end. So this is a great card to have in your past. It's a great card to have before the tree, and a great card to also have before any kind of personal cards. So loving this line for you. Let's move on, Taurus. Here we are. So your heart is way far away, okay? So something, we're talking about heart and relationship way far away from what's really happening here. So what I'll say is that this is obviously stuff that has been built up, okay? So the heart, there's the love, the stability, this stable love adventure or journey that was kind of developing, was a slow development with the mountain, okay? It was slow and a little bit of challenge. There was, the tower is like corporations or institutions, so there was a larger group that was kind of involved here, and it didn't need to be. It could also mean that it was a lonely, and right next to the mountain makes me feel like that, that there was a stable love that had developed, but it felt a little lonely and challenging, even though there was a lot of love and loyalty and friendship there, okay? But there were just some challenges and some loneliness in that friendship. Now, the other thing, here we are in this present line for the female, is that this is about secrets. So there's a secret, what I believe is being revealed because we're opening it up. And it's a secret about either the home stability, feeling at home, or a sense of self. So there's a secret that's coming, that's going to be revealed in the near future, that is somehow related to this love, this relationship, this stable relationship that once was, and it may still be. This might be what we're talking about, but the sense of self, that stability, that home, whatever information has been hidden is going to be revealed. And because it's right here in this same little box, I'm going to say it has to do with this relationship. So there's been something that was held back. Maybe what's being revealed will be what has kept this relationship so stagnant. Same thing, we've got some stagnation here. So something's kind of bottomed out in the development so far. So what we're seeing is, what's great about this is that we've got all this stuff in the past, which means that we're making room for the future, okay? So Taurus, we've got a stable relationship that kind of got stuck somewhere. And we'll talk about that in a second, but the common theme is that, things started well and then they got stuck, and now things are being revealed to show us what's really happening, okay, what's coming up. And the home can be a physical home, so something can be revealed about that physical home. It could be, we're talking about this contract earlier with it being a lease. It could be that there was some kind of underlying clause in that lease that's being revealed. We'll see what comes up, but something is definitely coming forward. But the home doesn't have to be a physical place. It could be the home in the heart, right? The centered space, okay? And then the 4 cards that are kind of finally clarifying: the stars, which is destiny. It's also that energy of inspiration and fatedness, okay? And sometimes the star card can burn you up. You can go too far, too fast, and especially with it being connected to the burdening, the cross the cross card. There's something that is, there was a lot of energy put into something that was fated, okay? And again, here's more destiny with your moon card. And I'll say that this could be within 1 month, or it could also be since the last eclipse. There was some kind of fated connection that felt like a burden. So again, on the same line of all this stagnation, that felt that was connected to destiny, connected emotionally, and the timeline of 1 month, or back to when was the eclipse cycle was in August, and so that eclipse cycle reveals that there. Okay, so the bear is a strength card. It is a card about finances. It's a maternal card as well. So what I'm seeing is that there's destiny here, but there's some burdens to that destiny. Even though it could have been fated, it feels weighty. It doesn't feel like it's going to take off. It doesn't feel like there's any excitement. What it feels like is that it's just been kind of locked in a pattern, and it's locked in this pattern because there's something that is from the outside coming in, and I'm feeling like it's a maternal influence, or it's it's some kind of structural family weight that has put everything on hold, if that makes any sense, because all of these are in the same line. Even though this is in the past, this is all in the same line. So what I'm feeling is that we're talking about a relationship because we have the 2 significator cards together. There were some really interesting beginnings that had a lot of beautiful, fated, stable, connections, but in the middle somewhere things took a different turn. It started to feel burdensome. It started to feel lonely and challenging. Something had to end. Something had to change in order for things to work out for these 2 people. Now, I don't know if things are going to work out for these 2 people because we don't have but just the one line at the moment. And in that one line, we have some deceit, even though we have also the key, which is telling us to move forward into this because this is where the answer lies. And we have we have our home, we have our personal sense of self. So I'll be interested to see what happens next month, but let me go through just some of the other significators. So we have love, we have stability, and we're just going to read right around here. But there's gossip, and there's some, I'm going to say, too much individuality. the inability to come together as partners is challenging this love, okay? There's a stable promise, but the fact that there's gossip around it, or that the two people are just talking and not talking deeply, but talking about, you know, superficial things, and that each one may be out to serve themselves. These two energies are taking away from this love. It's blocking it, okay? So there's stability that can be there, but these are the two energies that are blocking it out, okay? Then let's look at, well, I can look at the ring here, and we can talk about, again, these energies are here as well. There's some confusion with it being a connection, but there's luck promised in the end, right? The cards that are following this are showing us that this is what is fated for it. You know, it's bringing it forward. So there's some luck promised here in this connection if we can strip away everything else around it. If we can strip away what this, you know, immaturity and this self-flagellation, you know, the things that keep us down, you know, the selfishness, I guess I would say, too much individuality, too much confusion. Once we can move through that, then the rest of it can be revealed. We'll talk a little bit here about the health and the personal sense of self. We've got things that are challenge cards here behind it that are ending, and then what's coming forward are actually really beautiful cards. So right in the line of the health, you've got friends who are helping you. You have some money, and so you might be investing in some like retreats that would help you to make you feel more healthy. So if it be yoga or spiritual retreats of any sort. So there might be some money spent on getting your health feeling good, or in the past, getting your health feeling good. But your friends were very supportive, or your friends went with you on these retreats. And then also surrounding them is that, so just flanking it here, I'm sorry, quartering it here, is we have some public understanding of what's going on with your health or your emotional wellness. And we have something that has yet to be revealed about it. So again, the negative cards are behind you, and you're moving forward into this new place. And I don't know what this will be. I don't normally like to do the readings when the significators are so far away towards the side, but I mean, I'm just kind of letting this one go. We're trying this out. What I feel like is if the feminine energy is here, your masculine is right behind. He's on the way. He's coming towards you, unless you guys are already together. Okay, this might be for the couple themselves, but the masculine, if this reading is for you, basically she's already in your life, if that makes sense. And so all of this stagnation has already happened. Everything's kind of gotten jumbled, and we're still waiting for the final reveal. This is the energy to check on, to make sure that you keep this in check and keep a watchful eye for it. But basically, we've got new energy or youthful energy, and we have a new home. So I like to look at the two corner cards here. So we have a youthful energy that brings about home and hearth and family connection. So that's the whole line, right? So that's what I have for you, Taurus. It's going to be revealed. All is going to be revealed, but it's a really interesting reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd really like to see if this resonates with anyone. And for right now, I'm going to wish you a very happy new year.